Hi domo, watashi wa Marco de Santos. Welcome to the Level Cap Podcast, the magical land of magical podcastery, brought straight to you in your wonderful eardrums, where we talk about Marco, Brad, and all things Level 99 games. Or Brad.
Or otherwise.
Yes, he did it.
I'm Brad, your co-host.
Hi, Brad. How are you on this?
Hi, Marco.
Oh, hi.
I'm really tired today.
Why? What happened?
I can explain it all in 3 words. I got Subnautica.
Subnautica? Ooh, save that for the next segment,
Have you played
eager man.
Have you played this game? Anyway, I've played a lot of this game now.
Is this like a roguelike? Ocean crawler?
No, it's not at all. It's not at all a game you would discover, Marco. But I'm kind of surprised you haven't heard of this.
I mean, I've heard about Subnautica. Is this like the ship game
Yeah.
with your submarine?
It's like Minecraft plus No Man's Sky underwater. It's really good.
Huh. Interesting. So you're tired.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
unfortunate.
mega tired.
Can you wait? Is this because you willingly played video games instead of sleeping?
Yes, it's because I stayed up and I played video games until like my body physically made me stop and go to sleep. I haven't done that in a long time.
Uh-huh. That is quite unfortunate, Brad. But that's fine, you know. You can cheat every once in a while, right?
I guess so, but
You-
I might be a little out of it for this podcast. So
Hey, you know,
Just,
Brad,
beware.
because I love you and because our fans love you, it will be okay. Everything will
I need
be
you
fine.
to carry for me, Marco.
Don't worry, Brad. I will do my best. So, Brad,
How
aside
have you
from
been?
Thank you for asking. You're
Yeah.
in top form. I'm absolutely fine. You know, I have guests over the house. I don't think this counts as a house, but I have guests over. They're somewhere in the house, and it's fine. You know, we're gonna have a cool time after this podcast. We're gonna leave the house and go out for some late night eating because I don't drink, so I just eat.
Oh, that's pretty late for you guys. Isn't it already close to midnight over there?
Yes, but so quick context. I'm actually at the condominium in what essentially is a thriving nighttime metropolis. Like this is the place you go to if you want to have nightlife. So like
Mhm.
everything's open, and there's like this cool place that's near the condominium. That's like what do you call this? It's like a farmers market food park thing. So it's like yeah, there's lots of food, and we're just gonna go there and we're gonna eat. It's gonna be awesome.
Mhm.
But Brad,
So you could
Yeah?
you're in Manila right now, right?
technically I'm in Taguig.
Mhm. And what is that close to some other place that we've been or that we know about or
Yeah, it's
what?
it's close to Manila. It's like an hour or something drive away.
I see.
Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, I mean like it's cool. It's like a thriving metropolis. Yeah, nightlife. I love the nightlife. I
I see.
I want to boogie. Is that the song? I don't know.
I only know the Miami one by Will Smith, but I'm not going to sing that on the podcast.
Is it bad? Does it have bad words?
No. It's just I'm just not very good at pop music.
I see. Okay.
You know.
Okay. Here, Brad. One more thing. I feel really good today, though.
Well, good. Then you offset me.
Yeah, because in case you listeners have not noticed, my voice is extra clear and awesome today.
Sauceum.
Awesome, yes, because I got a cool new mic, so better audio quality, yay! So without further ado, Brad, let's go to our first segment. Brad, tell me. Well, you already introduced it, but what have you been doing?
Yeah, so I've actually been playing a couple different games. I finished the Batman Telltale series, which was really good. And so after that, I decided I was going to try something else, and I watched a movie. The movie I watched was called The Martian. And after watching The Martian, I was like, I really want to play the video game for this. So I downloaded and got Subnautica, which is the video game for The Martian.
Wait, what? Are you serious? No, wait, there's no Matt Damons in Subnautica.
Well, it's first person, so you'll never know.
So maybe our character is secretly Matt Damon?
Matt Damon? Yeah.
Okay.
I believe it.
Okay, sure. So tell us about your Subnautica experience, aside from the fact that it has eaten up all of your sleep.
Wrecked my sleep schedule. It's only been one day, but I played for like 4 hours straight. And it's kind of like, I don't know if you played No Man's Sky when that came out.
Isn't that just like high graphics Minecraft?
Kind of, yeah. You go around, you scavenge for stuff, and then you take the stuff back and you improve your gear. And Subnautica is basically like that. I guess the main difference is that interface is a little more fluid. The goals are a little more fluid, or a little more intuitive. Mm-hmm. And it's I don't know. It's definitely a much more beautiful open world with the ocean, and there's a lot more life on this planet. But because there's only one planet so far in the game, I don't think there are multiple planets in this game. But there are huge cave complexes. So man. I feel like I visited, when I played No Man's Sky, I visited like 5 or 6 planets. But I feel like this one planet is more than all of those planets combined. That said, I liked No Man's Sky. Even in its initial release date, I still liked it.
Oh, really? You did?
I didn't really know what it was about. A friend just sat me down and let me play it. So I didn't go into it with any expectations.
Okay.
And I think that changed the experience a lot for me.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of No Man's Sky being bad is actually people just, having their expectations not met by No Man's Sky. Because I think the developer did a really bad thing in advertising and talking about the game. Because they kept making promises that they could never fulfill.
Well, they probably had a lot of things that they wanted to do that just didn't end up in the budget.
Yeah.
It's not to make an excuse, but it is kind of just that's what happens in game dev, is that your scope creeps and things change, and then you have a tough time of fulfilling everything that you wanted to. Yeah,
that's quite unfortunate. So tell me, what has been the best part of this Subnautica experience?
Well, I finally built the fabricator tool, and I started building my base, and that's been pretty rewarding. And now that I built my base, I can start thinking about cave diving.
Cave diving? Are there creatures? Yeah. Can you fight Loch Ness monsters?
Yeah, there are huge creatures. I only have a survival knife. You can't really fight very much. It's definitely a game that's about you're the small fish in this big pond.
So it's not like you'll eventually build up the giant mechs that will kill these monsters. It's just that these monsters are forces of nature that you have to work around.
I feel like there might be a laser cutter, but it's more for underwater wreck salvaging than it is for fighting monsters. And there are creatures in this game that are so big that they could just walk through your base and destroy everything and not even notice.
Oh. That big.
Yeah, there's some crazy stuff in these caves.
Please don't send screenshots. I bet it's nightmare fuel. Is it nightmare fuel?
Only when they sneak up behind you. You turn around and suddenly your entire screen is full of this creature's mouth, and you're like, "Oh no!" And then you gotta get away, but you probably just die.
And then it plays that bonk, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah. But there's a lot of real world diving type stuff in there. For example, wreck diving is really dangerous, not because you go really deep, but because you can get stuck in places. And if you don't have your flashlight, if your flashlight runs out of batteries, or if you lose your way out, then there's no way back to the surface in time, and you suffocate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's happened to me once or twice, despite that I've actually gone diving before. I'm too greedy for minerals, and I just stay down too long.
Brad, you can just go back.
But maybe it resonates for me too, because I have done scuba diving in the past, and I quite enjoyed it.
I can do this. Maybe there's an air of confidence.
Yeah,
this familiar territory.
I've only died one time per hour in this game.
Died or dived?
Yep, died. The dives last about 2 minutes. Like that's how long your oxygen tank typically lasts.
Okay, so you die around 1 out of every 30 times. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
It's not
Anyway,
too
like I
bad.
said, I think it's really cool. I do enjoy it quite a bit. Building my base has been fun. I got to go scavenge around, learn new recipes. Is a neat thing.
I see.
It's a fun game. I'd recommend you try it out.
Oh, me? I can't.
Yeah.
I absolutely cannot play this game.
Why not?
It's first
Did
person.
Minecraft ruin your life once?
No, it's first person. I can't play it.
I thought you didn't have a trouble with first person games.
No. I do. Like, that's my whole jam. Like, I cannot play first person games. Overwatch,
Oh,
Vermintide.
okay.
So, like, yeah, because I get motion sickness.
I see.
Yeah, unfortunate
Okay.
for me. A lot of cool games I can never play because I will just vomit. And it's bad.
Okay.
Real bad. Yeah. So,
Sorry to hear that.
yeah, it's okay, Brad. But moving away from vomitrons, let's talk about something I've been doing this week. Now,
right.
you have a choice, Brad. I can talk about a game which has genres which you probably know of, or I can talk about a comic that I've been reading. Pick.
Well, I've never heard you talk about comic books, so why don't we do that?
All right.
But it would be totally okay to talk about both things if you want, because that's kind of the whole point of this podcast.
I guess that's fine. Okay. No,
Yeah.
I'll just talk about 2 comics I've been reading. So one of them's a manga, one of them's a graphic novel comic. Actual American comic.
Mhm.
So let's talk about the manga first. This one manga is called Doctor Stone. It's a shonen manga, and I find the main premise to be quite interesting. So the story is about this guy and his friend. So this guy's like a knucklehead, he's buff. He's not really that smart, but he's kind and earnest and wholehearted and whatever. He works hard, And his best friend is a genius who, graduated college at the age of 6 or something like that, right? And
Okay.
they're both together, they're chilling, and then suddenly they go out into their classroom, and everyone in their classroom is made out of stone. Everyone has been petrified. And they're like, what's happening? So they run away from this beam of light that seems to be enveloping the earth. They keep running away, and they both get swallowed.
Mm-hmm.
Everything turns black. Yeah, by the beam. Everything turns black. And you find out that they too have been petrified. But they're not dead. It seems that they are just encased in some sort of really, really thick stone.
Mm-hmm.
And then thousands of years pass, and they're stuck in the stone. And so much time has passed that all matters of civilization have been eradicated. And basically the earth is now this pristine virgin jungle, right? So where their school once was is now just a forest and everything like that. And then suddenly, because of years of weathering, the stone cracks and they get out.
Uh-huh.
So here's the thing. They are so they don't know, they have to survive, right? But one of them is really hardworking and strong. The other one is a super genius. So essentially, the entire manga kind of does this thing wherein the super genius guy is coming up with survival techniques and using science to show how they can survive in the wilderness when there's no technology left. So, they talk about fermentation processes, they talk about clothing, and all matters of scientific things. And I think the main goal of the manga is to get back to modern times. So the guy who's the scientist, since he knows most of the stuff that's happened in science, he's trying to fast track the world back to 2016, 2017. He's figuring out how to make medicine, forgery, how to do smithing, and all that stuff. So
you mean metal casting or forgery?
Yeah, I mean writing, right?
Yeah,
that's called forgery.
Forgery,
right?
yeah, forgery is copying writing.
Okay, so
it's
calligraphy,
making fake documents. Calligraphy,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so and then they eventually meet this group of people who got out way before they did. But these group of people had no scientists with them, so they kind of grew up to be this tribal place, and they talk about certain scientific things that we would know in the 21st century, but they don't, because generations have passed since the original people came. So it's like, this person, he has the demon eye disease, blah blah blah. It just turns out that the person needed glasses.
I see.
So yeah, that's what makes that manga very interesting. Like if you like combat and action stuff, it has some of that, but most of the appeal of the manga comes from the fact that they spend long chapters explaining like why ammonia is important to making medicine, or like why we need electricity and how we can generate it using magnets.
Huh.
Yeah, so that's an interesting manga. The comic I've been reading is called Miracle Man. It is a DC comic as far as I know, and it's about, I think it's like the 2017 run of Miracle Man. And it's a reboot, I think, maybe? Because like Miracle Man of the olden silver golden age was I think he was just a guy who was like Harry Houdini-esque. Like you could put him in any trap and he could always escape, And his name is Miracle Man, and then his real name is Scott Free. So, yeah.
Wow. Yep. That's a Silver Age hero,
right? Like Silver Golden Age hero. So his name is Scott Free and stuff like that. But I think this is the 2017 run, so I think they rebooted him a bit. So he's like a new god, which is apparently a thing in DC. Yeah, so he's a new god, so that means he's the same race that Darkseid is?
Kind of. They're like split up.
Yeah, so there's the good ones, and then there's the people from Acropolis, right?
The Apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
The good guys are the new gods, and then I can't remember what the people from Apocalypse are called, but they're basically opposing forces, and they're on a similar power technology level.
Yeah, so it's kind of like heaven and hell, right? Essentially, it is a giant metaphor for heaven and hell. So the story here...
I don't know. Maybe.
There's a lot of religious imagery. At least in 2017 Miracle Man, because like the first sentence is, "Do you know the face of God?" I mean, like that's literally what they ask. So
I see.
What I think the story here is that actually Miracle Man is the son of the All-Father, who is like the leader of the new gods, right?
Okay.
And he and
my DC lore is not super great, especially when it comes to that segment of the characters.
To the obscure segment of like the new god. I didn't even know new gods.
Now, let me tell you, Chad has like an encyclopedic DC knowledge.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Can he catalog every single one?
Chad is our server programmer for BattleCon Online.
Yes.
He could tell you like anything about DC if you want.
That's pretty cool. So, okay, so DC...
He's really great. He's really great when you're watching the DC movies, because he'll just tell you all the stuff that's going on.
Oh, really?
And when it doesn't make any sense to everyone else, like, I get it, because I got Chad sitting there.
Nice. I mean, like, have they shown any stupid Flash powers in any of the DC... I don't watch them, but, like, have they shown any stupid Flash powers? Like how he can walk through walls, or how he can...
I mean, in the television show, they've done a little bit of that.
Oh man, I love Flash,
but not really too much in, like the Batman versus Superman or the
Justice League.
Justice League movie.
Yeah, okay.
Like Flash didn't really get to do enough in that movie, I think.
I don't think anybody but Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman got to do enough in that movie, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Okay, so wait. What makes this run of Miracle Man so good, in my opinion, is that so Miracle Man, aka Scott Free, actually is supposedly the son of the Allfather, and then he and Darkseid, Allfather and Darkseid apparently strike a truce, but to like maintain the peace, they swap sons. Mm-hmm. So Scott Free gets swapped over to Darkseid, and he gets brought up in Apocalypse, right? So So what makes this comic really interesting is that there's this entire prophecy that the son of Darkseid is meant to kill Darkseid. And people are wondering whether that means it's Scott, because he's the one who was brought up by Darkseid, or is it Darkseid's original kid who he gave to the Allfather, right? But, all of this lore aside, I'm setting it up like it's a grand story. And I think that's the point, because the first few chapters make you think that it's going to be this grand story of a war between two worlds and all that stuff. But really,
Yeah.
what the entire comic is about a guy who's going through a crisis in his life. A guy going through essentially what is a midlife crisis, because it talks
Uh-huh.
about Scott Free when past his golden age or past his prime. He's old-ish now. He's older than he used to be. Being a superhero is not fun anymore. So what does he do with his life now? Right? Like there's
Uh-huh.
an entire war going on, but to him it's like, why does that matter? What does my life mean? What should I do with my life? There's an entire chapter, I kid you not. There's an entire chapter where he and Big Berda, his wife, try to infiltrate this base and try to like steal
Like,
something.
Big Birda, like
Yeah.
like Big Bird, but with an A at the end.
No, BE Berda, BERDA.
Sounds the same.
Yeah, it does. I think that's the joke. But like, also her real name is Big Berda, so her first name is Big, her last name is Berda, so it's fun. Anyway, what actually happens is like, so they infiltrate this base and there's supposed to be this like combat mission, whatever. And their actions are sneaking, infiltrating bases, killing people who are guarding the things that they have to take, blah blah blah. But the entire conversation between him and his wife is just them talking about remodeling their living room. And the main focus of the entire story arc is what they will do to remodel their living room. So like it's like this great disjoint because the backdrop is for this epic story, but all of the story that they show is Scott's life with his wife. What's it like when his wife starts getting pregnant? And I think they have a kid at some point, and there's an entire like issue of the comic book dedicated to just him at the hospital with his wife while she's in labor, and they talk about what they will name the son. And I'm like, but you are literally gods with magic powers and everything, and it's just they're at the hospital giving birth, and I'm like, what is going on here? And that makes it really interesting to me because there's like a big dissonance.
Yeah, the human element.
Yeah, the human element makes it so good. Like the comic is it has moments where it's really funny because like parts of their supernatural life bleed into their like human elements. So it's like, the baby gets born and they have to cut the umbilical cord, but they can't because he's a god.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, I can't cut through the umbilical cord. So Big Bertha takes this like god slaying sword and uses it to like cut the umbilical cord.
That's pretty crazy. But it's comic books.
Yeah, comic books. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing, and I hope that you listeners enjoyed me and Brad talking about DC comics.
Yeah, all the things.
All
DC
the things.
Comics.
DC Comics. All right, Brad. I think the listeners have waited long enough. Let's bring them to the segment that they all love and desire. Our character of the week. Brad, who's our character of the week this week?
Well, let me take a look at my options for this week. Let's talk about a character that I've done and especially a lot of lore on. Character that has been a fan favorite for ages. The character has been hotly requested for BattleCon Online, for the BattleCon base game.
Is it? What do you think it is?
And that character is Judo and Borneo.
Wait, huh? I thought it was gonna be that other Eerie.
So Judo and Borneo are two magical familiars that belong to Tatsumi and Lysandra, respectively.
Mm-hmm.
And they are totally different.
Wait. I'm starting.
What?
I'm starting to think that maybe they're not totally different, Brad.
They're totally different.
Why? Aren't?
Because they're different species of familiar thing. Anyway, so I should probably talk about them separately because they're actually pretty different.
Okay. That wasn't a joke.
So, okay. Actually, Marco, I really should not ramble because I do not want to. I don't really have a great character of the week segment prepared for this week.
Huh. Really?
So
hey.
It might be best if I just talk about what I actually don't really have much of anything to talk about because all the projects I would talk about are secret still.
Hey, Brad, it's okay to talk about Juto and Borneo. People want to know. Like, these were actual fan suggestions, so please.
Yeah, I know. The truth is, I really only have a lot of info about Borneo. With judo, judo is was obviously a fan created character, and so I've avoided writing too much lore about judo.
Oh, right, because
For the
Tatsumi and
present,
Judo
right?
were
Or
commissioned.
backer created characters, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot.
So I do need to finish writing judo's lore, but it's probably not that dissimilar to Borneo, who's like an actual demon. But anyway, so Borneo is a demon. They're like these little creatures called torments that are evil monsters, and you summon them from the afterworld, and then you can force them to be your personal servant for the rest of your life.
That sounds kind of bad.
And then yeah, and they have to do whatever you say. And then once you're done with them, then they go back to the afterworld and they become full-fledged grown-up demons, and then they get to do the bidding of the sisters.
All right. So wait.
This is like Borneo's life currently with Lysandra is like his training.
Right, and then when she dies, he takes her powers.
Yeah.
Right.
And becomes a full-fledged demon of his own.
Yeah. Okay. I see.
That's how they work.
That's how they grow up and become big boys.
Yep.
Wait, is Judo a girl or a boy? Is Borneo a boy or a girl?
They're both. Well, I guess I don't know if they really have gender because they're like spirit creatures. So
right.
It probably doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
But I always refer to them in the masculine. So that if that's all it takes, then
maybe they're like crystal gems. Like they're not exactly gendered, but they all get referred to as feminine. So
sure.
Have you watched Steven Universe? Oh,
yes, I have. I'm a big Steven Universe fan.
Okay. Oh man, I love that show. Okay, so how about this? Instead of having to explain everything about these two characters, I'll just ask you a few questions about these characters, and then we can move on. How about that?
Okay, sure.
Cool. So number one, what made you think about making quote unquote mascot characters, or actually assigning these characters to be the mascot characters for their respective sets?
I thought it would be good to have some. Well, actually, I'd say it would start with Jared and Trish, the creators of Tatsumi and Judo, because Jared is a big board gamer, and he wanted to make this character, Tatsumi and Judo, and he's like, the game really needs a mascot, so I'm going to make you a character that has a mascot. And I'm like, okay, sure, if that's what you want to do. So he made one. And he made Tatsumi, and he gave her the little spirit companion, Judo. And everybody ended up liking that. And so I was like, oh, well, I have a plan for a summoner in the next set. Let's give her a familiar too, and then we'll have another mascot. And now we can have, mascot wars.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where it came from. But I wasn't originally intending to do it. It didn't really happen until Jared suggested it.
Why is there no mascot in Fate?
There just wasn't a character that it made sense to attach one to.
Alumis.
I guess no.
Alumis' shadow is the mascot. Isn't it kawaii?
No, Alumis is the shadow.
Alumis is the mascot. Kawaii.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Oh man, that was a pun, Brad. Oh,
maybe more kawaii.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh
my oh man, this is pretty bad.
All right.
Back in high school.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
making stupid Japanese language jokes.
Hey, come on, Brad. If you can't make stupid Japanese language jokes, what's the point in having fun?
Yeah, I guess so. What am I even anymore without my stupid Japanese language jokes?
Exactly. So, here's another cool question. What inspired you to do that cool thing in Dev Extended? Okay, so to people who may not know, Juto and Borneo are actually playable characters separately from their masters. And they are actually in the mascot combat set in Devastation Extended, I think, or was it War Remastered?
Yeah, it was Devastation Extended.
Okay, and their kits are really funny because their unique abilities state that instead of having normal bases, they have a set of unique bases that they use. And each one of those unique bases is actually a copy of the unique base of one of the characters in their set. So, for example, Juto has Press, Staff, Tatsumi's Whirlpool. On the other hand, Borneo gets like Divider and Hex from
He has
Aaron.
Hex. He has Smoke. He has
Scene
couple
shift or
other
scene shift?
things.
He has scene shift, right?
Yeah, he has scene shift.
Yeah, so it's pretty hilarious because in the end, what ends up happening is that both of these mascot characters end up becoming mascots for their game because they're essentially turn into Mokujin for each of their games.
And we should say like it's not just the like that they have these moves. They also have every move is illustrated, and it's them cosplaying as the characters in the set.
Poorly,
so,
I might add.
So when Borneo is doing like Lexion's Divider, he has a little like paper crown and a big cardboard sword that he uses to do that attack. When Judo does like press, he like is wearing a bunch of like trash can armor, and he's like raising up some like chopping knives, like he's Cadenza.
Rawr.
You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I find them really cute. I find both of these characters to be really cool, and they have really crazy overdrive finishers because both of them have the overdrive finisher that just lets them throw more bases at the opponent until the opponent dies.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think
it's kind of the only viable thing in the entire kit because all their styles are bad.
No, Cuddly is cute. But yeah, no, legitimately, all of their styles are kind of quote unquote bad to make up for the fact that all their bases are really good. And also to make up for the fact that neither of them have dash or dodge, right? So
yeah,
it's pretty funny. They also have they have a B-side overdrive finisher, right? One of them, I think I really, really like Borneo's. I don't know what Juto's is, but I really like Borneo's because Borneo's is Mama Mazeroth, right? Wherein Borneo does it, he gets dropped down to 1 life. But if Borneo survives the next 2 beats, he automatically wins.
So this is the same as Lissandra's Mazeroth finisher, which is summons is like the super summon. It just kills the opponent instantly if she survives for 1 turn. So yeah,
it's funny.
So Borneo has to survive 2 turns, where Lissandra only has to survive 1, and Lissandra's a lot more survivable.
Yeah, because she has all that soak. And what's Judo's? I forgot Judo's.
Banhammer. The opponent may remove 1 style and 1 base in your hand or discard piles from the game. You do the same to that opponent.
Oh, so it's just a worse version of
it's
a
not
simulator.
Quite as base. Well, no, you remove them instead of taking them away. So it's a much worse version of a simulate.
Yeah, it's an extremely worse version. But
that said, on the whole, Judo does have better bases than Borneo does.
Yeah, because he has press
and Lance,
right?
But Flash.
Oh, geez, old Flash.
Scythe.
Is it old Flash?
Yeah, his old Flash. And Scythe. And Staff. Dude, he's got really good bases.
Really good bases. Oh, man. Old Flash? To all of you BattleCon newbies out there, old Flash. Okay, so current Flash has 1 power, 1 range, 6 priority, start a beat, advance 1 space, ignore stun guard, right? Old Flash was 1 range, 1 power, 6 priority, ignore stun guard before activating, advance up to 3 spaces. How is this ever fair?
Actually, it is the new Flash. It is advance 1. Not close 3, because it was done with the rebalances to war, so it's not at the same time.
All right, sure, okay, then it's not as crazy.
But still, it's a lot of good tech.
It's a lot of good bases. Brad,
some of the best bases.
Can I tell the jaw dropping thing that will blow people's minds?
What's that?
These characters are tournament legal, and you can take them to tournaments.
That's true because they are publicly. Because they are publicly available, because you can purchase them in stores, they are tournament legal.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait for Charles to take one of these characters and bring them all the way to top. And it'll be great, because it's like, you get them... It would be great, right? Because they would be
speaking of bringing characters to the top, we are having another tournament recently.
All right.
This time, I'm going to be playing in the tournament.
Oh no!
What do you mean? Oh no!
Oh no! People are going to get destroyed because again,
if by people you mean me, then yeah.
No, but we've already
I'm not
established...
a world champion BattleCon player.
Yes, you are. So here's the simple thing.
Not.
Here's the simple thing, right? Oh, reveal Oh no, you have more priority than me. I actually fixed that already, and that style actually has less priority now.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, that doesn't work in BattleCon Online. Not that I would ever do it, but it doesn't work in BattleCon Online.
Okay, fine. You can't say it out loud. But yes, we have an upcoming tournament called the Argent Arena, where you can join and play against Brad Dalton himself, and maybe win, maybe lose. Who knows? That's the point.
Probably
join the
win.
tournament. We'll see. Maybe you play Cadenza and something. The matchups. Matchups are a thing. So yeah, if you guys want to join that, I will put the link to the details in the podcast, and you can see it, and you can still sign up. Sign-ups are until, well, if we're releasing this podcast on Wednesday, sign-ups are until tomorrow, Thursday. So get on it, and it's going to be fine. All right, Brad. That's enough for Character of the
All
Week.
right.
I know there's not a lot of lore, there's not a lot of mechanics.
Yeah, there's not too much that you can say about these guys.
But they're cute.
So it's really their whole stories are in terms of their masters. So go back to the Tatsumi episode, go back to the Lysandra episode, and listen to those.
Yes. All right. So, Brad, are you ready for the next segment? Because are you ready for the way I'm going to introduce the next segment?
I'm never ready, but go ahead.
Welcome to the 99 questions, where we take 1, 2, 3. Everybody just follow me. Punch the enemy in the head by a DVD with all the answers, and then shove it straight into their mouth so they can digest and learn.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my, that wasn't that good, huh? All right, I gotta step up my game. I gotta.
I just don't know how to. I don't know how to respond to that. But go ahead.
All right,
ask a question.
Ask a question. All right, we will answer this question. Question number 1. Hey, it's kosher. Or is that correct? Kosher? Germain. It's Germain. Why does the mascot in Pixel Tactics 1 not match up with the reverse side? Juto is not on the Juto-backed cards, and Borneo is not on the Borneo-backed cards.
That is because press sheets are confusing to read, and I made a mistake when I was reading the press sheet, and so it followed ever after that was the way it was.
Oh.
That's all. They were meant to be on the same side, and actually in one edition they are on the correct side.
Interesting. So your mistake has been immortalized, so to speak.
Yep, pretty much.
All right. That sounds horrible.
I think in the new edition it's fixed. I think Josh fixed it, because Josh is better at reading press sheets than me.
Yay, Josh, aka A3, for guys who don't know. All right, Brad, are you ready for the next question? Because it's going to be a doozy.
Yep. Go ahead.
Do you think read-based or calculation-based playstyles are better?
Depends on the game you're in. Calculation-based styles are probably stronger, but I like a game that encourages you to play intuitively. And that's why I created Exceed, because I wanted a game where you could play more intuitively and not have to calculate so much. Like, there was limits to what you can calculate in Exceed. And there's still, calculation's still important, but it's not really everything like it is in BattleCon. Like, BattleCon calculation is like of ultimate importance.
Top tier.
Yeah.
All
The best player is the one that can calculate quickly enough to tell which moves are viable in the current situation.
Yep. And yeah, that's just how it goes. I got crushed in a game earlier. I went 16-0. My opponent was 16, I was 0. I got destroyed. Woo.
Well, and I would say there are players who enjoy that. Like, I mean, chess is a full information game, and there are players that enjoy chess more than games that are not full information. So, I would say it really depends on what you like. What kind of game style do you like better? And then pick the game that's right for you. But a lot of people really love BattleCon, so I don't think that there's anything wrong with that calculation-based style. It's great. It's just, for me personally, an intuitive play style is more fun.
I see.
But people have different definitions of fun. Otherwise, we'd all just play Monopoly.
Oh no, please spare me. I think I read this question a bit differently, because I thought this person was actually asking, like, in BattleCon only, like, would read-based or calculation-based be better in BattleCon? And the answer has been time and time proven again that calculation-based playstyles are more effective if your main goal in BattleCon is to win the game, right? Calculation-based playstyles have proven to be, like, Charles, 3-time world champ Charles, is a calculation-based player, and it just works. Like, hard reads are great, and hard reads are fun, but most of the time what seems like a hard read might actually just be a calculation-based parry. So,
Yeah, I mean, in BattleCon, like, doing a correct read and doing a correct calculation are pretty much indistinguishable.
yeah, exactly. That's my point.
Because
exactly.
because the information of the game is open. So
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's BattleCon.
Okay, Brad. Speaking of BattleCon, I have
Yep.
a very unfortunate final question for you.
Yep.
I
Go ahead.
love BattleCon, but it is not enough available in Europe. Why? Sad face.
Why? Well, I think that has to do a lot with the way that there are a lot of different languages in Europe, and BattleCon is a very language-dependent game. So without localization to the different territories and countries there, it's probably not going to catch on. But we do have a couple people that have shown interest in making multi-language BattleCon versions. For example, there's now a Spanish version of BattleCon. There's a Portuguese version of BattleCon.
Yeah.
Sorry, Spanish. Pixel Tactics went to Spanish, but they're planning to do BattleCon soon.
They better.
Let's see. Yeah, there's Portuguese BattleCon as well, and there may be more languages coming in the future. We haven't signed for them yet, but we are working on that. We have signed a Chinese language edition of BattleCon.
How about Chinese Pixel Tactics?
Yes, we've signed a Chinese Pixel Tactics as well.
Ooh, excelente.
Yeah, so our fans in China will be able to play all these great games. I don't know how many fans we have in China. I guess we'll have more once the games hit distribution.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, I'm not sure if it's correct to say, but I don't think a lot of Chinese people know English, right?
I think it's probably more than you'd imagine, but I think it's fair to say that most people in China would prefer to play it in Chinese.
Yes, definitely true.
Just like most people prefer to play in their native language if they can.
Oh, not where I'm from.
Really? Your fans wouldn't rather play it in Filipino?
Nope, no one would.
Or Tagalog?
Okay, look, I'm gonna be a stickler here. It's Filipino.
It is Filipino? Okay.
Yeah, it's Filipino. People say Tagalog, and it's true, right? Like, so modern Filipino is actually just Tagalog with extra words in it. But if somebody's speaking in the Filipino language in modern times, it's usually Filipino. At least that's what we say. Yeah, in the Philippines, we want to play it in English. That's just how it goes. So,
Okay.
yeah, so which is why when I said, like, not a lot of people in China know English, I'm comparing it to the number of, like, the ratio of people who know English in the Philippines, and it's over like 70%. So yeah, that's just how it goes. Right. Okay,
Well,
so languages, man, languages are cool. This is a very language-centric episode. You notice that? Very language and very mascot-y. But as much as I enjoy mascots and languages, Brad, I have an unfortunate piece of news for you.
What's that?
Guess.
It's time for me to go back to sleep.
Time for me to leave and eat.
Okay, cool. Well, that's not bad news at all, because now I can go back and catch up on the last 2 hours of sleep that I sacrificed to Subnautica last night.
And my God, Subnautica, yes, take my sleep.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I'm looking forward to playing it again.
It's pretty bad. I can't wait to do it more. All right, so Brad, I will let you go back to your eternal slumber. Wait, no, that's wrong, right? That's the wrong phrasing.
But yeah, I'm not Dracula. I don't have an eternal slumber. It's just
temporary slumber.
Yeah.
All right, I will let you get back.
Actually, I think that's Vampire the Masquerade, but I can't remember. It's the Eternal something.
Eternal Symphony of the Night. Anyway, vampire references aside, what is a man but a miserable pile of ending segment? So,
yes. Wow, Marco, that was
good. It was good.
That was good.
Yes, that's right. So that way we can end this podcast as usual. It has.
What is a Marco? But a miserable pile of ending segments. Delivered directly into your hot-baked ears
Yes, exactly.
via podcast.
Oh man, via podcast, via the radio waves that get converted into electro waves that infect your brain. As usual, that's been me, your host, Marco DeSantos, also known as Count Dracula. And with me has been my wonderful co-host,
Brad Talton, also known as Brad.
Organ lightning.
Okay.
So thank you very much for listening to this episode of the Level Cap Podcast. If you guys like this episode, please leave us a comment and share it with a friend. Or if you hated this episode, share it with an enemy. As usual, without much else to say, don't forget your special action, and thank you, World of Indians. Thank you, and good night.
Happy gaming.
Happy gaming.